Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a slightly different video than the last video I did, which involved going over items that I liked about my Subaru over 5 years of ownership and roughly around 70,000 miles. Today we'll be going into 5 items that I dislike. And when I say dislike, I mean more qualms with the vehicle, little tidbits that I've found that annoy me over time. Let's get started. A little bit of background on this car. So I bought this car roughly about 5 years ago and I've put around 70,000 miles on it. My modifications include a 2-inch lift on the car with all-terrain tires and 2 roof racks on the top. So far though, my ownership has been great, and I did create a video 2 weeks ago going over items that I really like about this car, and I highly recommend checking that out before watching this video. Stepping inside the car, starting with my first item that I found has been annoying at times is I'm going to start with the Subaru EyeSight adaptive cruise control system. And what I mean by that is not the system itself, as I find it's actually a pretty good system for adaptive cruise control. For me, it's more involves little bits about how the system works. And specifically, I'm going to start with the following distance. I have found with this car, as you know, you can turn it on here. The following distance can be adjusted using these 2 buttons right here. Well, I found that even if you put it at its most lax setting, it will make even the safest drivers look like daredevils in their follow distance. And that's just because the car gives you way too much, and it's hard to really navigate and drive through traffic with it because you sit so far back, to the point where oftentimes I have to disengage the system. So that would be number 1 for me on items that really kind of annoy me with how this system works. Item number 2 of things I dislike. Keeping on with the theme of the Subaru EyeSight system, another would be how you select your speed. With this car, you can only do increments of 5 miles per hour settings when you're trying to adjust your speed on your cruise control. And you do it here with this little knob. I'm not moving now, so I can't change it. But when you are driving, it will go in increments of 5. And I found it's just really annoying because if you do want to set it within a speed limit that's not set in an increment of 5, you would have to be driving, get to your speed, and then once you're at that speed, press down. And that's fine if you're setting the system, but if you're in traffic and you're currently driving, you have to awkwardly speed up and then press it down. And I found it is just a ridiculously annoying system, and I don't understand why the engineers at Subaru felt it needed to be set up that way. When every other car in the auto industry, you can just go ahead and set in increments of 1 if you want. For number 3, this might be one of my all-time strangest and most annoying things I've ever found with this car. Now, if you put this car into reverse, like I'm going to do now, and you try to adjust the volume, it is the strangest thing that any volume adjustments you make will not apply until you put the car back into drive. And there have been times when I first got this car, I would have music on, and I about blew my eardrums with this base model sound system. It was insane. For my last 2 reasons, they will be a bit more concrete on what I dislike about this car. Now, the biggest for me would probably be the CVT transmission. And for those who don't know, that is a continuously variable transmission that has no gearing and instead uses tension to manage torque in the car. Now, I found this transmission to be annoying at times, and it's just not an overall my favorite transmission in the industry. I much prefer a manual transmission and or a traditional geared automatic transmission. With that being said, my CVT has not given me a lot of issues, but I have experienced times where it's a little bit jerky and overall feels a little rough around the edges. I hope this has been improved with newer generations, but from my experience, it's certainly one of the sour tastes I have with this car. My last reason for small dislikes I have with this car would be the 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. Now, the engine itself I really like, and if you remember in my last video, I talked about how it's been a fantastic engine, and I believe it's one of the most reliable aspects of this car. Now, with that being said, the power of this engine is not a quick engine, and that kind of goes into my dislike, which is it just overall makes very small amounts of power. It's roughly around 152 horsepower. The good news is with the newer models of this car, they've increased it to 182, which is still not fast, but they've put 2.5 liter engine in the new Crosstreks, except for the base model. With that being said, it's a good engine, but I do wish there was more power, as it's just awful slow sometimes. And that is the 5 items that I dislike / annoy me with my Subaru Crosstrek. As I mentioned in my previous video, my ownership experience with this car has been fantastic. I really enjoyed getting to drive it and getting to learn more about the car and seeing really all it offers. It's never left me stranded. It's been a fantastic daily driver, and I really look forward to taking it on more adventures. With that being said, I look forward to making more content about automotive, and thank you all for watching. Bye.